Get better at your money management with personal finance simplified in super clarity. If you are not subscribed yet, you might be missing something.
Hey folks, this is your Chaandan Savant once again. This one is a non-routine video. Many of you might have got mail from AMC called Franklin Templeton on closure of their funds and voting for it. Many queries came back to me, so I thought I'll clear some air around it. Before we move forward, let me clarify. This video is not being sponsored by the AMC, nor anybody else, and I do not have any kind of a direct association with that AMC. Whatever I am giving here is my personal opinion so that you can make better decisions out of this. So as you are aware, Franklin Templeton announced closure of its 6 funds some time back. It would no longer be available for further subscriptions or redemptions. So this voting is an unprecedented exercise which will be a clarity for the regulator that all the investors are in sync with the purpose. Franklin Templeton requires 50% of its investors to vote for one of the options. They want to give us 3 options. 1, the liquidation of these 6 funds would be done by Franklin Templeton themselves. 2, it would be handed over to Deloitte and Deloitte would do the liquidation process. We also have a third option which is not to choose for either of these 2. Now what are the consequences of this? What if there is more than 50% of the people vote for neither of the options or there is a split opinion? In that case, Templeton would have to wait and go back to all the investors once again, say maybe next month, for a re-voting of that. So does it mean that if the third option is ticked in, would the fund come back to existence again and they would start subscriptions and redemptions? No way. That's not the choice. The decision to close the fund is already made by the AMC, just that the liquidation process is the voting order. My request or my suggestion to you guys is to vote in favor of Templeton rather than a third party service. In this whole purpose, either ways, whether Deloitte does it or Templeton does it, there would also be a third party arbiter, which is Kotak Bank, which is going to help in liquidation of the process and give the proceeds back to the investors in the rightful honor. Kotak would ensure that they would get the right pricing for the papers which they are holding. Kotak has got a great amount of experience in managing credit historically, so I am sure they will do a great job on this too either. Whichever the case may be, my suggestion is to handing over this to Templeton again and making them liquidate would be a much better choice. This is not the first time any paper is defaulted, and the same AMC, Franklin Templeton AMC, managed to get the best liquidation price for the one of the previous papers as well. In that particular case, Franklin Templeton parent company from US bought those papers at the best quoted price plus 50 basis point markup, which is 0.5% extra than that of the best quoted price. So giving it back to Templeton and to liquidate that would be the rightful choice according to me. This would be my suggestion to you guys, to vote for it. But do vote for it, because without 50% investors' consent, this would get delayed by probably 1 more month. Would this mean that if they get clarity on this particular liquidation process, that will speed up the liquidation? No. The fund realizations will happen as and when the payers will keep paying over the period of time. There are also other people who are part of this, which is the banks, from whom Templeton had borrowed to liquidate some part of the papers, or rather to honor the redemptions. So Templeton will have to clear those debts from banks first and then go on to pay the investors. So this would mean the payments will start happening from 1 quarter or so. This is my suggestion to you, to allow Templeton to do the liquidation and close the funds. These are my 2 bits about this fund. Rest is for you to choose and vote for the right option. Thank you. Till we meet again. Eat healthy, sleep well, keep learning, meditate, relax, and be successful.